are you? UFC Long Island,
Yes,
our,
sir.
our backyard. I feel bad for people in like California or like on the West Coast that are going to be watching this because it's going to be like, I think
It's a dog shit time of the card.
I think it's probably like an 8 a.m. start for them.
8 a.m. start for them. Yeah. Like, and you have to go out and get your fucking coffee and maybe breakfast before. Like, they got to be up at like 7 a.m. on a Saturday. It's just like they're not going to do well ratings wise. It's just stupid.
It's on ABC too for some reason.
Yeah, so have an ABC card that starts at 4 or 7.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm all for it. I like drinking coffee and waking up to the fights when they do have it every once in a while. 11
really
o'clock
nice.
isn't too bad. I think it's a little change of pace, and I'm kind of like not hammered by the time the main card's on, so that's pretty cool. We'll see what it is. But all right, we're gonna start the night off with Jessica Penne versus Emily Ducat.
Yes, sir.
You want me to take it away? Can I start it up?
Yeah, start it up, bro.
Right.
You're encouraged.
All right. Jessica Penne, she's had a pretty crazy late like career insurgence. She was 0-3. She lost to Jacek Andrade. During that time, she got suspended for 4 years, came back and is on a 2-fight winning streak, including a performance of the night in her last time out. Very good submission game, finishing 9 out of her 14 wins by sub. Kickboxing style on the feet, but better on the ground for sure. That's her bread and butter. Career striking differential is minus 1.9 at 34% accuracy. So that shows you where her striking's at, kind of. She's taking on Emily Ducat, who's making her UFC debut, 11-6 pro record, Invicta strawweight champ, BJJ black belt, fights out of a relatively small gym, ATT, but Oklahoma City. Not really too many big names fighting out of there. I think Ducate is better striking, very straight punches, good head movement, but from what I've seen, doesn't have like really enough volume. Has decent pop in her punches for a 115er. Penne's 39.
Power for the division. My bad to cut you off. She definitely got power for the division.
Yeah, she does. I think that's probably why she's here. Her record isn't too great. But she's young. She's only 20. She's like a decade younger. Penne's 39 now, though. Really relies on her grappling. I think Ducate is more well-rounded, better on the feet, well-versed BJJ like Penne. Penne's no slouch at all, though. She's tough for anyone, especially in the UFC debut. But you know what? I see this. I don't know. This is just like something to throw in there. I see her. She's got like an OnlyFans now. She does a podcast with Angela Hill now. She does interviews for UFC Fight Pass. I just think that she's got like one foot out the door. So
she's
for that,
the low weight class.
Yeah, for that reason, I'm gonna take Ducat. But I just tweeted out on my Twitter, but No Brainer retweeted it. 8 out of the last 10 fights, the first fight to start the prelims, the underdog hit in 8 out of the last 10. So, just saying. So Ducat, like, you put some money on her, you never know. But I mean Penne, but I'm gonna go with Ducat in this.
Yeah. Jessica Penne did look fairly decent recently, but like against Karolina Kowalkiewicz, it's like that's, she's 1 foot out the door too, for sure.
That's true. She got 5 straight.
I like Ducat's striking. She's got honestly heavy hands. I'm pretty big on Ducat in this one. I think, and I would love to see her get a finish. I don't know if it's definitely going to happen, but
yeah, but Jessica Penne is tough. But I'm whether or not if it's a finish, I'm not sure. It's hard to get finishes, but for 115ers to begin with. But yeah, Emily Ducat in this minus 135 favorite, slight favorite, kind of sketchy, but whatever. So we're both going to agree. We're both going to go with Emily Ducat. We're going to move right into the next one. Dwight Grant versus Dustin Stoltzfus.
Yeah, Dwight Grant, the man. I like him, but he is
He's moved up to 185. His first fight at 185.
This is going to be interesting. He's 37 years old. He's getting up there in age.
Yeah, he is.
He is, if I'm not mistaken, the slight favorite in this. I don't love either of these guys. They're both a little inconsistent for me.
Yeah.
Stoltzfus has lost 3 in a row now. I think Grant's lost 2 in a row to Francisco Trinaldo, and he had that kind of a banger of a fight. Definitely banger of a fight against Sergey Kondazko.
Oh yeah. That they both knocked each other down like a bunch.
Yeah, no, they were just rocking each other. He had that pretty decent fight with D-Rod in 2020. He's Dwight Grant's good, but
not a good matchup stylistically for him in this, I would say.
I don't think too highly of either of these guys, if you want me to be honest.
Yeah, me
I
either.
would stay away from this. Guess I guess I'm gonna go with Dwight Grant, but then again, it's fucking sketchy, man. I could see him landing a couple takedowns. I could see him getting a knockout. Stoltzfus, he just hasn't done much to impress so far, at least. I mean, he has had decent competition, but
Yeah,
still.
he came into the UFC pretty good, and then kind of like started facing tougher guys, and he kind of struggled a little bit. But this for me is a striker versus a grappler matchup. Dwight Grant, he's got a kickboxing style. He was a champion in American Kickboxing Association. Utilizes a lot of kicks. The guy's like 90% legs. His torso to leg ratio is preposterous. You ever see that, Dan? And at 180, I don't know if necessarily 185 is a good look for him. I think he's not that big of a dude. He's 37 years old. He desperately needs a win in this.
Loser leaves the company.
Yeah, loser gets lost. Dustin Stoltzfus, also desperate need for a win here. He's winless, 0-3 in his last three. He got to win in the Contender Series, but whatever. He's also had it pretty tough in his last two fights. He's won both rounds, 1 and 2, and then he got subbed in the third in both times, which is just absolutely makes losing probably like 10 times more brutal, knowing that you're about to win this fight by the judges and you get caught both times. His grappling is very good. He was able to grapple or out grapple for the most part Rodolfo Vieira, who's an IBJJ champ, and Gerald Mearshart, who's like a UFC veteran grappler, and he was able to hang with them. I think Stoltzfus is going to use that size in the grappling, and I think he kind of maybe makes it boring, but just grinds out a win in this one, so to get in the win column. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I kind of see that going on here, but we're going to disagree on this one. Dan's going to go with Dwight Grant. I'm going to go with Dustin Stoltzfus. And we're going to move right into the next one, which is Dustin Jacoby versus Dawoon Jung. This is a heater of a fight.
Yeah, I was going to ask if I could grab it.
Yeah, grab it. Take it away.
Fight is fucking sick. Dustin Jacoby, obviously ridiculously good kickboxing skills.
I'm a big fan of his.
Big fan. On a 3-fight winning streak. The takedowns is a concern, and Dawoon Jung is well-rounded. Like, he definitely could land some takedowns in there too.
Sure.
This fight is, I mean, he hasn't had too many takedowns besides the William Knight fight. And William Knight is honestly, like, I liked him, but like the dude's honestly overrated.
He is his size is terrible.
Yeah, he's just fucking huge.
He's huge.
They're both big boys, 6'3", 6'4". I'm gonna tentatively ride with Dustin Jacoby in this one. I think he's able to stuff the takedowns enough, and I think he will get the better of the two on the feet. But this fight is razor thin in that way.
Yeah, Dustin Jacoby, he's a great kickboxer, fighting out of glory. For a while, even he got knocked out during his kickboxing days by Alex Pereira, and he's got a KO win over Carl Roberson, who just actually got cut, I think, yesterday. But since moving up to 205, he's just looked like he belongs. He's kind of one-sided, very technical kickboxer, but his takedown defense is only 58%. He's gotten a lot better at defending takedowns in his fight versus Ian Kutalaba, who's just like a takedown machine. He got taken down a ton of times, but he was able to get back up, and that fight ended in a draw, actually, very close. And he was able to keep up with Kutalaba's really fast pace. I thought that was great. So if he can keep up with that, I'm pretty sure he's going to be all right with Dawoon Jung's. But he's a guy that doesn't get enough credit either. He's on a 14-fight win streak, 1 draw in there. Hasn't lost since his 3rd pro fight in 2015. Far more well-rounded guy in this, for sure. He's able to that William Knight fight. I think he had 12 minutes of control time in that fight. He's crazy, which is just crazy. He's finished 11 out of his 15 wins by ICAO. I think he's got a lot of punching power, but Jacoby has the volume and the technique advantage. I think Jung will be the guy to try to grapple first, for sure. But I think Jacoby will avoid it for the most part. So I'm going to go Dustin Jacoby with you, Dan, in this one.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's pretty close, but
but it's a banger. It's going to be really fun for sure. That's going to be fun.
Unless Dawoon Jung just takes him down and lays on top of him for
fucking. That's true. We're going to get William Knight.
We're hoping that doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's not how I'm thinking. God, let's not hope. But we're both going with Dustin Jacoby. We're going to move right to the next one. Bill Jo versus Herbert Burns. This is a short notice for both guys. Bill Jo was supposed to fight Billy Quarantillo in the Battle of the Bills, and Quarantillo had to pull out. And Burns was supposed to fight newcomer and undefeated fighter, 23-0, Ashkabov. I don't know his first name right here, but really high prospect. So this one's kind of like a worst case scenario because I think both guys were going to lose those fights. Algeo 2-3 so far in the UFC. He's got a background in wrestling, BJJ, but in the UFC we've seen him shine behind his striking a lot. He's got a plus 1.4 striking differential at 53% accuracy. He's also had struggled to stop the takedowns. He's been taken down 22 times and has only gotten 4 takedowns in return. His takedown defense is sitting at 55% right now. He's taken on Herbert Burns, who's 3-1 so far in the UFC. He started the UFC with 3 first-round finishes, but just got absolutely outclassed by Daniel Pineda, which I didn't see coming at all. I was kind of like, I couldn't believe that, but it kind of made sense. He had a terrible weight cut. He missed by like 4 pounds, and he took the fight on 6-day notice. So you can't really blame him for that. He's been out for 23 months, close to 2 years with a pretty bad knee injury. But his grappling is so strong. He's got a 3rd-degree black belt in BJJ. Personally, I think he's going to come back stronger, refreshed. And he's not that bad of a striker. People talk about like his grappling. He's not that bad of a striker either. He's got powerful calf kicks, stiff jab. He's always putting out there. His cardio is kind of a question. 9 out of his 11 wins haven't seen the 3rd, and 2 out of his 3 losses have come by decision. But I think Burns is going to look to grapple with Algeo, and I don't think Algeo is going to really have an answer for those takedowns. So I'm going to say Burns, maybe decision win in this.
Yeah. So everybody was like very quick
to write him off.
And I will say like he might have gas tank issues, obviously, but he obviously showed it in his last fight. But that was like almost 2 years ago. Like you really did hit all the points I was going to hit on Herbert Burns. Like I think he's solid underdog money on this.
Yeah, dude, I think he is. I think this is probably the most confident underdog so far the night. I got a couple more, maybe I think 2 more after this, but I love the dogs. So we're gonna agree then, right, Dan? We're both gonna go with Herbert Burns.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna move right into the next one: Ricky Simone versus Jack Shore. You want me to take this one because you did too? Or you want to take it and I'll take 2 later again. I'll take 3. I don't care.
I mean, I kind of wanted this one. I'm pretty excited for it.
All right, yeah, I'll take the next 3.
All right, dude.
Go for it.
So yeah, Jack Shore, Ricky Simone. Jack Shore's honestly coming to the UFC pretty hot.
Yeah.
5 wins in a row.
Something like that.
Good wrestling, decent striking too. Good grappling game, can get those subs, obviously. But this is easily his biggest challenge yet. Timur Valiev, I'm a fan of. Don't get me wrong.
He's out. He's cut too. They cut him too, I think.
They cut him? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think he's out of the rankings. I know. I got an update on Twitter.
Yeah. Ricky Simone, anyway, he's just a fucking ball of energy.
He is.
Dude, explosive, like he's like exactly what you would expect a fucking small bantamweight wrestler to fight like, just power, everything just power. He's coming off 4 straight wins himself. His last loss was to Rob Font, who is or was a top 5 bantamweight. Like, and that was in 2019. He's been on a steady string of wins, finishing Rafael Sunsao in his last time out. I think he just keeps that train moving. He's just going to shoot. Like, I think he's the superior wrestler of the 2. Jack Shore might have like decent. He probably has he definitely has the better submissions of the 2, but Ricky Simone just has that raw power that I think he's just going to put him over this fight, and I think he's just going to wrestle him down to the ground. I see 30-27s.
Dude, I can't. This is another underdog right here, and I think I'm agreeing with you. I was going to go with Ricky Simone. It's a great matchup. grappling matchup in the bantamweight division. Simone averages 6.7 at 54% accuracy. Shore averages 4.1 at 41% accuracy. Simone's on a 4-fight winning streak. Has registered 22 takedowns over that time and has been taken down 0 times. Shore is undefeated, 16-0, 5-0 in the UFC. Has registered 19 takedowns over that time and has been taken down twice. So both guys are just really elite grapplers. Usually when that happens in a matchup, guys end up striking with each other. Jack Shore, very awkward striker, punches weird angles, not too much power. He's got these great kicks though that just fly up right by your head, like a nice front kick right down the middle. I've seen him do that multiple times. Simone, by far the harder hitter, and he's got a nice boxing style. You know what he does? The best thing I noticed about him, this is huge that like not a lot of people talk about. He keeps his hands up like this, and his arms are so fucking huge. He blocks like all the punches that are at his head.
Hard to hit him with a poke.
It is so hard to hit him. His arms take a ton of damage, but I guess it doesn't matter. He just like it's all about like your head, and he protects it so well. Shore just barely snuck by in 2 out of his last 3 against Hunter Azor, split decision. He's not in the UFC anymore either. I feel like I keep saying that, but Christ almighty, they're cutting people like crazy. And then Timur Valiev, who had a compromised chin basically and a cardio issue. So that being said, I'm going with Simone. I think his striking has gotten a lot better recently. His grappling's great, and that's 2 underdogs we're agreeing on in a row.
Love to see that, man.
I love to see that. We never do that. That's craziness. We're both agreeing. Both going to go Ricky Simone. Going to move right into the next one. Punahele Soriano versus Darcha Alamjambula. This one, I think this one is, I don't know. Call me crazy about this one. I'm pretty confident in Punahele Soriano in this one. Minus a 270 already. But I do think that Dolce is no slouch. Don't get me wrong. They're grapplers in their core. Dolce being a champion in judo, Soriano a background in collegiate wrestling and brown belt in judo too. Both guys are crazy jacked up, good striking, heavy hands, don't have the best cardio. Soriano, I think, is much more technical, faster hands. I think he might be the harder hitter too, more volume, more technical. I think Soriano takes this one.
Same. Dolce sucks, bro.
I don't think he sucks. I just think that he came in at the wrong time. He's already an older dude. He's not a spring chicken. I don't know. I'm looking up his
spring chicken. There you go.
Yeah, he's gonna be 35. So he came in very late. I feel like he already kind of peaked. And Punahele Soriano, I think, is just getting started.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of this fight. I don't know why this fight is after Jack Shore, Ricky Simone. That fight's a fucking banger. Even Daun Jung and fucking Dustin Jacoby should be before that. Should be after the
banger. Yeah, this one. Yeah, I don't really.
They both underwhelm you.
Yeah,
I don't really give a fuck.
This is either going to end in like a knockout in the first round, or we're going to see 2 very tired guys in a.
It's going to be a dragged out fucking guys that can't even fucking lift their arms.
I have a feeling it's going to be one of those fights. You getting that feeling like it's going to be just a wash, like so
That's
boring.
The only vibe I'm getting, unless somebody catches somebody, like you said.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. All right, we're both going to go Punahele Soriano. No really money there. Going to move right into the next one. Lauren Murphy versus Miesha Tate. This was supposed to be a main event on some card, and it got rescheduled. So thank God we don't have to stomach 5 rounds of this fight. Miesha Tate, I don't really like her. I do think she's the better fighter of the 2 in this one. She's 1-2 since returning from her 5-year layoff. She's had a 19-fight UFC fight career. Will be making her UFC flyweight debut in this, though. I don't think that's necessarily the right move for her at this stage of her career, but Tate's showing that she's still improving her skills. She landed a career high in striking in her last time out. Very well-rounded. Started off as a wrestler, basically, but she's gotten more well-rounded as she's gotten older. Lauren Murphy is coming off a brutal one-sided fight against Valentina Shevchenko, where she just did not look like she belonged whatsoever. And the fight before that, she had a split decision win that really could have gone the other way against Joanne Wood, who was, I'm not even going to say it. And not to rag on her too hard, but the fight before that in 2020, she was against someone who was making their debut, and the fight before that was against really washed out Roxy Modafferi. So
Lauren Murphy is not good. I hate to say it.
She's had it pretty nice. Besides the Shevchenko type fight, she's had she's had smooth sailing, and
Yeah, I don't know how she was ranked that high.
she was ranked number 1, I think, at one point. Was she not? Or like number 2? Something. She was. Yeah. Bottom line, I think that Tate takes this.
Yeah, Tate looked decent at least in her fight against Caitlin Vieira. Like she even
Right.
outstruck her. I mean, Caitlin Vieira won the fight, but like
Yeah, she's got a lot more in her gas tank, Tate, especially after
she's the superior technical striker. If you watch I mean fighter. If you watch them both fight, I mean neither of them are very good technically striking, but like she's the better technical fighter, and that's a fact.
All right. I don't know what the odds are on this one. I assume that it's kind of in Miesha
Tate
Tate's
minus 200.
already, huh? Wow.
I don't like that.
Hmm.
I mean, because I don't like this fight, but yeah.
Yeah, true. Whatever. Yeah, I don't know about that one either. But we're both gonna go with Miesha Tate. Nothing to see here, people. Gonna move right into the next one. Shane Burgos, Charles Jourdain. This
This is you.
this is an absolute fucking banger of a fight. Shane Burgos is a monster. He's one of those more active strikers in the division, averages 8 strikes per minute at 52% accuracy. And he's down to go punch for punch and get into a war if that's what it takes. That he loves doing that. He's done it on multiple occasions. He's won some, he's lost some. And for that, and he's been knocked down a couple of times throughout his career, knocked out on one occasion. But that was, and one of them was against Josh Emmett, one of the hardest hitters, pound for pound, in my opinion, and UFC legend and veteran Edson Barbosa. But his fight style is very fun, constantly moving forward, putting on slugfest. Charles Jourdain, also a very fun guy to watch. I would say he's more explosive and athletic. He's got some decent volume in his striking too. And Jourdain has really been putting the pieces together recently. 100% expect to see a slugfest in this. It will make up for any shitty fight before this. And I'm perfectly honest, I'm kind of scared about that Burgos chin. I'm not going to lie. Jourdain is
he bounced back against that Philly. He looked phenomenal in that.
Oh my God, he looks so good. I think he landed 200 significant strikes in that fight. Jourdain is a slow starter, but in the second and third rounds, it looks like he starts getting everything going and he looks amazing. He arguably lost the first round in 3 out of his last 4 fights. Shane Burgos is not a slow starter at all. He's 100% from the second the fight starts. And he gets better as the fight goes on. His cardio is pretty insane. So I'm going to go with Burgos in this one. I'm pretty confident too.
Yeah, so am I. I'm a big fan of Jourdain, but I think that this is just going to be a high volume slugfest. Burgos walks out with like a 29-28 decision.
This I could see fight of the night right here. And I hope we get 3 rounds.
I would say it's like a minus 300 fight of the night.
Oh, dude, that's insane. That's awesome. I love to see it. Is this the main card? This better start the main card.
Yeah, this is the main card.
Main card right here. Love to see it. We're both going to go Shane Burgos. Going to move right into the next one. Matt Schnell versus Suma Derji.
Yes, sir. Hang on one second. Got it up. All right. Yeah, Suma Derji, he's on that 3-fight winning streak against Andrei Sukhumtov, Malcolm Gordon, and Zubir Kadashev. Getting a finish in there too. And he is a 125er, you know?
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Suma Derji.
He's good. He's a solid young guy to watch. I think he's only 25.
Yeah. What's it called? He's just been like he's one of my favorite flyweight prospects to keep an eye on. I forget the other name, one of the other guys, Zhu Rong.
Oh Rong yeah, Rong Zhu. He's good too.
He's good, but like I like Suma Derji a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Matt Schnell lost his last time out to Brandon Royval, but Brandon Royval's got that disgustingly good.
He did land a knockdown.
Yeah, I was gonna say he knocked him down and then was able to pull off the sub. This fight is these are 2 dope fights to watch in a row. I'm going to ride with Suma Derji though. I think he's more well-rounded. Maybe not more well-rounded, but he's the better striker of the 2, and I think it's gonna stay on the feet for the most part. And he's got good takedown defense as well. He hasn't been taken down in the UFC since 2018. So yeah, I mean it's only 3 fights he's had since then, but at the same time, it is impressive. It's his first fight in a year and a half. I want to see him bounce back pretty nicely in this.
Yeah.
I like Sumidoshi.
Yeah, I think this might be Matt Schnell's swan song. The flyweight division is getting loaded up with these new guys. And frankly, I don't think Matt Schnell will be able to crack the top 20 in the very near future. His takedown defense is easy to exploit, gets complacent on the ground because the best part of his game is his submission game. So he just runs subs off his back, loses time. His striking isn't that great. It's okay. Not the hardest of hitters, even though he got that knockdown his last time out. Sumidaerji, 3-1 so far in the UFC, like Dan said, 25 years old, 16-4 record. 13 of those fights ending by KO. He's a very powerful striker, super fast hand speed, quick on his feet. He's got a karate stance. He's in and out, avoids a lot of strikes, 68% striking defense. All 4 of his losses have ended by submission, which is Snell's best part of his game. So this, like you said, Dan, this is a very close matchup if you look at it like close enough. And also, this will be Sumidaerji's toughest task so far of his pro career, in my opinion. I do think he'll be able to win, but it is pretty close. I think it's closer than the odds makers are saying. I think it's pretty much in favor of Sumidaerji at this point.
It's minus 260. I just looked.
Oh, dude, yeah. See, I really think that Matt Schnell, like, he could catch him. He's good enough to catch him for sure. But we're both going to agree. Both going to go with Sumidaerji in this one. Going to move right into the next one. The Leech, Liji Lang versus Muslim Salikov. There we go.
Sir.
Is this me?
Yes, sir.
Muslim Salikov. He's riding a 5-fight winning streak. Came into the UFC later part of his career. He's 38 now already. He was a 5-time Sonda world champ. Very heavy hitter. Not really too fast, his hand speed, but he's landed knockdowns in 3 out of his last 5. Doesn't throw enough combos, in my opinion. He takes a lot of pictures after he throws punches, just one at a time. But he does have one of the cleanest spinning kicks that I've seen. I was watching some of his old Kung Fu matches, and this guy, when he was younger, could have been a serious threat. He was absolutely crazy fast in his striking, and I totally see him kind of losing a step over the years after seeing his more recent stuff. I really wish we got to see a prime Muslim Salikov. So that's a damn shame. Also, he only fights once a year. I don't really like to see that either. The Leech is coming off a brutal sub from Chimaev. 2-3 in his last 5. All 3 wins were knockouts in Performance of the Night awards. He's very powerful striker, very straight punches. He's got killer instinct, goes out there looking for a finish always. He's fast paced, likes to move forward, and he has a sick ground and pound, one of the best I've seen. His problem is that he has trouble stopping takedowns. His last 3 losses have all come from guys that have grappled with him. Salikov can get takedowns, but he's not good at controlling once he gets the takedowns. His opponents, for the most part, are able to stand up somewhat recent after getting taken down. I think the Leech will be able to basically get up from his takedowns and take care of this on the feet.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. The Leech has just a blockhead, man. It's hard to put that guy away unless
I love that guy. He is insane. He is seriously crazy, and I love it.
I'm gonna take him as well, but this isn't a fight I would throw money on. Definitely not.
Yeah, he's a pretty big he's plus 150, underdog right now. And I don't really get this hype around Muslim Salikov, in my opinion. He's kind of a boring fighter. He doesn't really put too much out there. Winds out a lot of decisions. I don't know. Call me crazy. Both going to go with the Leech, Liji Lang. Going to move right into the co-main event. Michelle Waterson versus Amanda Lemos.
Yeah, I don't want to be a dick, but this is kind of a lock for me. Amanda Lemos is pretty nasty. Pretty good all around. She's good. She can catch you with some takedowns. She's got good striking. She's got some pop to her punches. She's got great takedown defense. Michelle Waterson's best chance in this fight is probably to get the takedown, and I don't think she's going to get it. You kind of just see time passing her by. She is older. Both of them are older, but Lemos is the fresher fighter of the 2.
Yeah, they're at different parts of their careers.
Yeah, it's we don't really need to go too in depth for this one. She's a minus 300, 350 for a reason, you know?
Yeah.
Michelle Waterson, she's always been undersized for the division.
True.
She's lost 3 of her last 4. I mean, to great competition in Joanna, Carla Esparza, and Marina Rodriguez. But she's kind of like an Angela Hill type character, you know, like they'll be competitive, but they'll lose to these people that are gunning towards the top. So that's how I
Yeah,
see
they're
it.
getting older.
Yeah.
A lot of new young bloods. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you, Dan. Michelle Waterson, she's looked a step slow on the feet recently. She's taken 125, 131, and 180 significant strikes in 3 out of her last 4. And she's gonna expect to do that with Amanda Lemos. She's a very hard hitter for the 115-pound division. Maybe if not one of the hardest, the hardest. She did have a very close fight against current champ Carla Esparza not too long ago, where she put on a very great performance, way better than Rose did at least. Lemos, I feel like is still at her peak though. At like I said, different parts of their career. Lemos has some insanely heavy hands. Michelle Waterson does not at all. She's landed 5 knockdowns in her last 5 fights. She's coming off a one-sided loss to Jessica Andrade, but I think Andrade is like top 2 up there.
Josh is a fucking beast, man.
Yeah, I see Waterson trying to close the distance and grapple. I don't see her getting really too many takedowns. Honestly, I see her taking a lot of big punches. Lemos better not like empty the gas tank and look for a finish like she did against Angela Hill. That's like the one thing I'm worried about. But overall, I'm gonna have to go with Amanda Lemos in this one. And
Same.
we're gonna agree. We're fighting the time on this video. We got 4 minutes left. Let's see if we can do it. We're gonna move right into the next one. Brian Ortega versus Yair Rodriguez. This one's fucking sick, dude.
I love this.
This is fucking.
I can't wait.
Yeah, was it me or you?
With you, start it off. I'll wrap it up at the end.
Yair Rodriguez, what a fun guy to watch. His striking is electric. He's not afraid to do like spinning elbow, flying knee, Superman punch, whatever you. He's athletic and explosive, and he uses a ton of different tools out there on the feet. He's had 11 UFC fights, 7 of those having either been a Performance of the Night or Fight of the Night award. But his last finish was in 2018, close to 4 years ago. I don't want to say it's easy to counter his game, but Rodriguez shines when both guys bite down on their mouthpieces and just stand and bang on the feet. He does struggle with takedowns. Max Holloway was able to record a personal record of 3 takedowns. He got 3 takedowns against Yair Rodriguez his last time out. And even washed out Jeremy Stevens was able to take down Rodriguez 3 times in the fight before that. But that's not his biggest downfall. I think his gas tank is his biggest problem. You go watch that Jeremy Stevens fight. He got his ass beat in the 3rd by a washed Jeremy Stevens on like an 0-7 run. I think he's on, or 1-7, and he lost. Clearly, got his ass beat.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like he was kind of coasting, but at the same time, it's just like, come on, dude.
Yeah, Brian Ortega, who in the UFC has gotten either Performance of the Night or Fight of the Night in 6 out of 10 fights. He came in as a one-trick pony. Everyone thought really good BJJ practitioner, but he's put together some really good boxing skills. Not too powerful, kind of like this Cater Holloway vibe. It's light punches. They start adding up. They do take damage, and that's when he starts to get TKOs and stuff like that. People are dragging his name, saying that, I see this on Twitter too, that he can't get takedowns. That's total bullshit. He's the only guy that's taken Volk down since his title reign. Also, Ortega, I think, is the far better gas tank. No problem going 5 rounds. That and his grappling skills and Yair's lack of takedown defense, I think Ortega takes this one pretty easily.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to disagree with you, man.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm going with underdog Yair. I think Yair he obviously has to improve in some areas, but I really do think this guy has all the potential in the world. That fight against Max Holloway, the first 2 rounds, I thought Yair won.
Right.
But
he was playing his game.
It wasn't until Max Holloway started throwing in those takedowns, which was unexpected. That's not what Max Holloway does.
Oh, no.
Now he's going to see the takedowns coming more in this fight. His striking is electric. I think he's going to be able to pace himself fairly well. I see
better.
Like Ortega, it's very hard to knock out, obviously. So I'm going to take by a hair. I'm going to take Yair Rodriguez. It's a close one, but I see him edging out a decision. I mean, Brian Ortega, they both could take so much punishment, but
I'm ready for
Brian Ortega's eaten 200 plus strikes in 2 out of his last 3 fights, you know? And Yair can land some fucking strikes, man.
He can.
He kept up with Max Holloway for a while at least. So.
But look at that Korean Zombie fight. He lost like basically 5 rounds.
That's 4 years ago now, though.
That is true. But he's only fought like fucking 3 times since then. The guy does not get enough.
Yeah, no, he fought twice in 2019, once in 2021. Let's see him fight 2 or 3 times this year.
I need him to get a little more active. I would love to see that. And then he's young still. He's got some serious he's got a serious chance to do some damage.
Yeah, but I got faith in you. I'm a big fan.
That's it. We're disagreeing. I'm going to go Brian Ortega. Dan's going to go with Yair Rodriguez. We got less than 30 seconds here. Dan, any last words for the folks at home?
Nope.
Okay, that's it. Fuck all y'all. All right, we're out of here.
you